everyone, Evan Valenti here from CLNS Media, here to educate you on a new podcast you need to know about. Ideas are coming at you every single day from different directions. Think about it in the morning. When you wake up, you check your phone, right? You look at things immediately. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you get your news, CNN, New York Times, whatever you use, you're always looking for something new, the next thing you might have missed while you were sleeping. You're constantly told, think bigger, create better, live smarter. Never in human history have we been so bombarded with new information. Where do you even start? I mean, seriously, where do you start your mornings? It might be different every day. It might be email one day, Twitter the next, Facebook the next. Changes all the time. Well, now you can start your day with Wondery's new podcast, The Next Big Idea, hosted by Rufus Griscom and featuring Malcolm Gladwell, Adam Grant, Dan Pink, and Susan Cain. These legendary thought leaders will be your personal idea curators. From businesses and science to health and culture, each week they bring you one of their favorite new ideas. Ideas that can change the way you live, you work, and you think. Open your mind and get ready for something big, because the right idea at the right moment has the power to transform your life. You're about to hear an exclusive clip from The Next Big Idea that brings into question whether or not the 10,000-hour rule makes a champion. Malcolm Gladwell popularized the rule in his best-selling book called Outliers, but since then, David Epstein has challenged the notion in his best-selling book called Range. Which next big idea is right? While you're listening to this preview, be sure you subscribe to The Next Big Idea on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also find the link in the episode notes. Enjoy.
A boy is born in a mid-sized town in Northern California. When he's 7 months old, his father buys the boy a small putter that he drags around in his little circular baby walker as he learns to walk. At 10 months old, he picks up a club and tries to mimic a swing. He's not old enough to understand concepts, so his dad draws pictures to show him how to place his hands on the grip. At age 2.5, the boy appears on a popular television talk show. Producers set up a putting green, and then the toddler comes out with a miniature golf bag draped over his shoulder. 2 clubs almost as tall as he is are packed inside. 2 other guests on the show, Bob Hope and Jimmy Stewart, look on as the boy tees up and then sends a golf ball careening across the stage.
How about a putting contest with Mr. Hope? Can he putt too?
Oh, yes.
Okay, we'll let him putt first.
At age 4, his dad regularly leaves the boy at a local golf course in the morning to practice and picks him up at the end of the day. By 14, he's put in thousands of hours learning how to drive, putt, and slice. By 15, he will win the Junior Amateur Golf Championship. And by 21, he will become the youngest player ever to win the Masters. For years, Tiger Woods will be the most dominant golfer in the world. But no one is surprised that such a great player started playing so early, or that he was laser-focused on his sport and had far more than 10,000 hours of practice under his belt. It makes sense. That's how champions are made. Or are they? 5,000 miles away, in a mid-sized town in Switzerland, lives another boy. He enjoys playing lots of different sports: basketball, handball, soccer, tennis. He also skis, wrestles, and skateboards. He dabbles. When he's in his teens, he decides to spend more time on tennis, although he still plays soccer and a few other sports. His parents don't push him towards any particular sport. 12 years later, at age 21, he wins his first Grand Slam tennis tournament, and then goes on to win 19 more.
It's so nice, to share this moment. And thanks to everybody. It's great!
Congratulations, Roger Federer!
2 of the best athletes of their generation, 2 very different paths to greatness. Tiger had an early start, tens of thousands of hours of practice, dedicated training, and singular focus. Everything a world-class athlete is supposed to have. But Roger had something that Tiger didn't. Something that our next big idea curator, Malcolm Gladwell, is going to speak about with David Epstein. Epstein has written a fascinating new book on exactly what makes Roger Federer's journey different from Tiger's. Roger had range. From Wondery, I'm Rufus Griscom, and this is The Next Big Idea. I founded the Next Big Idea Club along with authors Malcolm Gladwell, Susan Cain, Daniel Pink, and Adam Grant to connect people to some of the boldest new thinking shaping our culture and our future. Each week on the podcast, we bring you one idea with the power to change the way you see the world. This week, we're taking a new look at the science of success and whether success is assured more from focusing deeply on one thing or from having a range of experiences. The story you heard at the top of the show is from a book called Range, Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World. The author is David Epstein. He's a senior writer at Sports Illustrated, and his previous book, The Sports Gene, was a New York Times bestseller. Since it was published in May, Range has become a pop psychology phenomenon, the book every CEO is talking about. I can't stop talking about it, for two reasons. First, it says the future belongs to generalists, not specialists. If you didn't start swinging a golf club at 7 months, this is good news. It's a message of hope for those of us who are improvisers, samplers, dilettantes, hacks. Apparently, we've been onto something all along. And second, it almost completely rejects the premise of one of the most beloved pop psychology books of the last 2 decades, Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers. For those who haven't read it, Outliers was the book that famously spread the idea that you need to put in 10,000 hours of practice to become great at a specific discipline. The idea has become so widespread that Gladwell even gets name-checked in rap songs, like this one by Macklemore called 10,000 Hours.
Also Malcolm Gladwell, David Bowie meets Kanye shit.
With all the heat surrounding this debate, we thought, wouldn't it be great to get these guys in the same room and just have them talk it out? So here they are, live from the 92nd Street Y, David Epstein, the author of Range, and the author of Outliers and our own Next Big Idea curator, Malcolm Gladwell.
So we have these two of the greatest athletes of the last 50 years represent diametrically opposed models of development.
One well-known, one unknown development story.
We're in love with the Tiger model.
Yeah.
If I polled the audience, most of them would say the Tiger implicitly is the model that leads to greatness. Mm-hmm. You're arguing, no, it's the Roger model. Why? It doesn't. One thing I've never understood is why did we fall in love with the Tiger model and not like the Roger model?
Wait, I thought you made us fall in love with the Tiger model.
Don't blame me. I did not write a book about sports.
I'm just kidding.
Everyone says I wrote a book about sports.
I know. No, that's true. That is very true. That ideas that you started became outrageous in other hands in many cases. But in terms of Tiger, I think it's dramatic. It's incredibly dramatic. There's video of him on YouTube at age 2. It makes a ton of intuitive sense. It's very easy for a prescription to tell people. And I think, as you said, we're obsessed with precocity, right? You said these child prodigy videos are human cat videos. And I think that's true, and I'm mad I didn't think of that line for my book.
But is that enough, though? Because it's also clear that Tiger pays an extraordinary price for his precocity.
That was just a preview of the Next Big Idea. To listen to the rest, subscribe to the Next Big Idea on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now.